Hello guys, this is Narendra. We got Niyati here from Mumbai who came here to do masters in UK. We'll talk about her journey from the day that she arrived to UK to till now. Hi Niyati.
Hi Narendra, thank you for having me.
Thanks for taking your time to come here.
My pleasure.
Can you give a quick intro about yourself? Let's take us back to the days of your bachelor life and then the way when you come to London.
Yes, so I completed my bachelor's in physiotherapy from Mumbai, and after that I was actually studying IGCSE, that is Cambridge University study, since like 6th standard, and I definitely wanted to come here since 12th, but I couldn't. But then I thought, why not? After finishing my bachelor's, I wanted to do a master's outside, so UK was the best place. So I came over here, I flew over here, and now I completed my post graduation from University of Birmingham
So
in exercise and sports
UK
medicine.
is always your first option, or is it something that happened by flow?
No, that is what, because I was already doing a Cambridge University study
All right.
in India, so in an international school. So I already knew how the education system worked over here. So I thought this is the best, I wouldn't have to adjust much to it.
Okay. So,
So-
while you were in bachelor's itself, that you decided that you want to study in UK. I mean, even before the bachelor's.
Not before bachelor's. Before bachelor's, I definitely wanted to. I wanted to do my graduation here, but couldn't.
Right. Okay.
So I decided, because in India there's so much importance about post graduation right now, especially coming to abroad and doing it, because that gives like a different perspective to you as a person in eyes of the society as well.
That's
That
true.
is something that I've realized.
Right.
But either way, I wanted to do something different also, because I wanted to. Eventually, we all want to earn more. So for that
Earns.
purpose, you have to study more.
Right. Okay.
yeah.
So before you come to UK, you should have some picture of UK in your mind, right? So this is how it's going to be. Like, this is how colorful it is going to be. Is it like exactly the same reality after coming here?
Can I say, I imagine more it to be like a Karan Johar movie, like, oh, this and that. It was definitely not that.
The picture.
So, yeah, I mean, London is beautiful. I was in Birmingham for like majority of my time. It was beautiful as well. But when it comes to everything, it was not as easy as I envisioned. Starting from getting a house. Oh my God, getting a house over here is so difficult. Especially I started hunting from India, couldn't. I finalized my house like 3 hours before boarding my flight. Just imagine the stress I must be under to
Okay.
actually
I
get
can
something.
For the students, to get the seat in the university is easier than find the house in London. That's was the situation here.
Yes, I totally agree to that.
Okay. So you started living in Birmingham.
Yes.
And then I think somehow you started going to the university and working for yourself legally 20 hours a week. Can you describe the challenges and struggles that an international student go through, and then that you gone through? You feel like main challenges.
Started as I said, finding a house. After that, I think everything in terms of adapting to the culture over here, we're all excited to, build friendships with like different diverse group of people, but to notice that they only stick amongst themselves. You can't really go and be a part of their group.
That's true.
So that was something that was like very shocking to me. You can talk to them, but still. And interesting enough, I ended up having British roommates. So what was very interesting was I definitely wanted to make them try Indian food and see them turn all red, but that did not happen. To my disappointed, they actually took the food and everything quite well.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Speaking of food, you have to cook your food by yourself. You have to do your laundries by yourself. You have to do everything by yourself. You have to pay your rent by yourself. If you are actually working in that 20 hours a week rule, then that's a different story, because you're finishing your university work. You're finishing all the housely chores that you have never had to do before, and after that going to your part-time work as well. Oh my God, that's really difficult, and it is not easy to find a part-time job as well. People have taken months and months to actually just find a job, and then they just settle for anything that they get.
That's true.
And it doesn't really matter whether they're doing the job that is bringing them closer to their field, job related, but
I mean, it depends on the circumstance, because a lot of students came here if you talk about me, we came here with the loan or like with the debt. So what happened is after few days, after few months, like if the going gets difficult, we somehow want to stick and adjust to the circumstance and just start doing something rather than finding something really sexy and then thinking that it will add us it will add something to our CV. Although first few months is always difficult, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So especially adapting to the new culture,
Yeah,
staying in a new place.
exactly. And as soon as you're done with the few months, barely few months, you are facing winter. And winter over here is not easy for someone who's coming from a tropical country where you see the sun set not more than at 7 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. Over here at 2:30, 3, there is no sun outside. It is pitch dark. How do you live with that?
Especially we are always out of comfort zone, I can say. So we can't hardly rely on anybody. And friends, usually they have their own life and everybody is going to the same phase. So it's very, very challenging.
Yes. If you really know someone who's been here, a little more longer than you have, that's the best. And if they're willing to help, then that's the best guidance that you can get, because they can definitely relate to you and what everything has to go. And I understand that is where you come in.
That's true.
So that is how, you here to make sure that everyone is educated before they walk into this new, chapter of their life.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you. Right. In the first few months, do you think that like a lot of students or working professionals feel lonely because of all the circumstances that we face here?
Absolutely. I mean, how come not? I'll tell you, because firstly you used to living with your friends, your family. You're only seeing them via video call. And I'll tell you what, there's something that I've realized, that once you've reached the adulthood phase, you are done making friends. You're just maintaining your relationships. So when you're coming here and you have to start that process all over again,
right.
Building friendships, building relationships, well, it's a really good idea to constantly do that through your life, but we don't do it often. If I would have been back in India, I would be hanging out with my same old friends, because we are chuddy buddies now.
But,
So firstly, be making friends. And how do you actually happen to trust anyone? So all of that actually creates a barrier between you and the world. So that is what leads to loneliness. And all the time that you have, you're actually just doing your work otherwise.
Yeah. So this is what's particularly everybody goes through. But what do you used to do when you felt that you are less confident, or like you are feeling lonely? What you used to do to come out of that situation quickly?
I'll tell you what, initially I couldn't cope up with it. I have cried, literally cried. Because I reached out to my roommates and everyone is going through the same thing. And I think the weather has a lot to do with it, as I said, because there's no sunlight. So it is scientifically proven that when there is no sunlight, it increases the depression levels. So that is something that I felt for the first time in my life. Couldn't deal with it. I reached out to help. The university thankfully had ways to do that. And after that, I involved myself in creative works. I mean, I got like painting and coloring books, and I started doing little things here and there, getting out more, working out, going just on walks.
We can say just involve doing something.
Yes.
Rather than just spending time in the room.
And I would really suggest do that, some group kind of activity. That way you're also meeting like-minded people. So that should really help. At least, going
to come out
come out of loneliness.
That's absolutely true. And then, what are the learnings that you get after doing the part-time jobs and going through all the things? That is there moments that build your confidence? Is there moments that boosted your personality?
I'll tell you, each and every time, because the first thing, especially I'll speak as an Indian and especially someone coming from Mumbai, I'm not sure if it applies to everyone, but for me, I realized that we are really not used to introducing ourselves. So one friend recently told me there was this one person in her background, and what he would do is, irrespective of where he is, he would just go up to everyone and introduce himself to everyone. And so basically at the end of a month or two, everyone knows his name and everyone is reaching out to him. So and you're just building network, building
He's
community, and that
probably-
is where it starts, right?
He's probably kind of guy who can jump into any party.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure, yes. Getting invites from each and every place.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so difficulty understanding that there's something called as introducing yourself.
Mhm.
The extent to which it goes is, hi, I'm Niyati. I've done my education here.
Mhm.
That's about it. We shut up. But how does that get? How do you know
Get
about
other
me?
person,
Actually,
yeah, but
yes.
just-
When I'm just saying that. So that is something that I learned.
Mhm.
Overall, you know how we are talking about doing different chores and everything. I've never had to pay my rents. I've
Before.
never had to pay my
Yes.
bills. I've never had to actually earn. And if I do earn everything, it goes
Goes
you know,
to
it
saving.
is with me.
Right.
So
It's
living
the story of Indian guy who is less than 24-year-old. Usually we are like in a very, very comfort zone that we
Yeah.
usually go to college for like 3 or 4 years. We had bunch of time to chill around, and then we suddenly come to somewhere where you have no idea. You have to adjust with the people who you don't know. You have to go to the universities and finish all those assignments and stuff. At the same time, you have to do the
Absolutely.
part-time job, and the timings, maybe you have to go 5 o'clock, or maybe you have to go like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, come about like 1 o'clock in the morning. So timings will be shuffled. And at the same time, you are unsure about your career because you came to the new place, and then you
Yeah.
have deadlines to meet before you your visa is expiring.
absolutely, yes.
And you at the same time you want to travel because you come to the new country, right?
Oh my god, you so want to. But
Right.
exactly, with part-time and with assignment deadlines, which time do you have
What the time?
to travel?
There's hardly time, but that's the thing. We have to somehow manage
Yeah.
all these things.
But of course, so that is something, another thing, right? Multitasking and actually creating deadlines for yourself.
Mhm.
So because otherwise you're not living your life. You're not just to do all of these things, but
Yeah,
also to live a life.
I think in a lot of times we push our potential lot more than we used to be.
Absolutely. We actually just, from a good sheltered life, you're thrown.
Thrown.
You're out. You've taken a flight and you're here, and now you're just living a different life. You're building everything by yourself over here. That is tend to make you independent. That is tend to make you confident, boost your self-esteem. There's so much that you learn when you come over here and doing everything by yourself.
Fortunately, what happened is coming to abroad is not like before. If you look at like 5 to 10 years back, so going to abroad at that point of time is completely different thing. Now everybody has their cousins or their friends or their seniors or somehow from their community or here in every country. So it'll be a lot easier nowadays for the newcomers to know about the place or to know about the circumstances in the first place.
Yes, sure.
Right?
Sure.
So as if you have proper plan in the place, it's gonna be lot of added advantage before you coming here. Anyhow, keep that in mind. Nobody will help you. You have to do it by yourself end of the day. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, you do have to do everything by yourself, because another thing that I did happen to notice is, if you're giving me an advice, you're still giving me two options to choose from. Okay, so it is not like your parents just do this. So you know that is the right way to go to. You're giving me two choices, and I am the one who has to actually decide what to do with that. Choose option 1 or option 2. So again, you have to decide by yourself, even if someone is guiding you, which is, you know, them managing their own life and then taking out time for you. So which is also a little difficult.
So in life, usually, to make any decision, we seek out advice from the people. Obviously, at the end of the day, we are the one who has to decide that what will be the best for us.
Right.
So, but better to seek the guidance so that you know about the consequences which you aren't aware of
Absolutely,
before.
yes.
Right. So, like, how is your perception of life and perception towards money change after staying here for like couple of years?
Perception towards life.